G. Willigers. So I guess now we're moving on to, oh my god, so much I don't even remember. Okay, now I remember now. And this is the big one, big bang, to where I'm at now, Messianic Judaism. I guess you could call it, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, traditional Christianity, which is what I really view it as. But so let's start with, I guess, Judaism first. I know I've been through them all. At this point, I was at the end of my ropes. At this point, I was just at the end of my ropes, and was it when I was becoming? No, this was when I was already a Christian. But I remember there was just one thing that never really made sense to me. This was just coming out of what I had learned in church as well. Um, what I had never truly understood was how people could not look at the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. And that's still how I felt today. It's how I felt back then, and it's how I feel now. I remember when I got back into Christianity, um, I remember like there were so many denominations to get back in, and of course, I grew up Pentecostal, and if I had to pick a denomination, I would be Pentecostal. Honestly, honestly, if we want to be honest with ourselves, I'm more Baptist, but I believe everything that Pentecostals believe. That's just the way that I was raised. However, I remember my first encounter with Judaism was, I remember I was like, well, what do Jews believe? Because honestly, I was starting to have those questions, like as a Christian, I wasn't doubting Christianity by any means. I was just like, did Jesus really walk the earth? So I remember looking up Jesus and what the Jews had to say about it. I was gonna hear out a rabbi. So I remember being parked at the Dairy Queen. I had just gotten some chicken tenders and stuff like that. I had parked that at the Dairy Queen. I remember going on YouTube. I remember going on YouTube and looking up a rabbi talk about Christ. And I remember being so insulted the way that he would just discounted Jesus. Like he was so disrespectful to Jesus that it really hit me hard in my heart. To the point where it hurt me so bad that he was talking about Jesus. And keep in mind, it's never happened to me before in the history of religions. The history of religions for me. Um, he was talking about Jesus so horribly bad, and it's so different from atheism because with atheism they just they don't care because they don't believe. But these people were claiming to believe the Bible, but they didn't believe in Jesus. So I'm hearing him saying, "Oh yeah, the Old Testament, that's all correct, but Jesus never came to save your sins." And I remember just being so perplexed, like that's thinking, that's very impossible, very impossible. So I remember being so mad that I was like, I'm gonna hear him out. And this is the one of the weirdest things that I had ever that I had ever seen, that had ever happened to me. So I wasn't sleepy. I was not sleepy. So I knew that this was an act of God. So I wasn't sleepy at all. And I I was I'm sorry, I blanked out. I heard something in my house, but I had blanked out. I blanked out. I I was eating and watching, and I just fell asleep, out of nowhere. It was so weird. I wasn't sleepy or anything. I remember just laying my head down, and just falling asleep. And when I awoke, the video was over, and I knew that was God who put me into a deep sleep, so I didn't have to listen to any of it. I guess he was really protecting me from it, and so I knew that was a message from God that really told me, hey, Jesus is the Son of God. And I remember also praying hard, and I remember like a verse popping into my head, and Lord, to this day, I can't remember the verse that had popped into my head when I was praying, but when I looked up that verse, it was a verse that said I had Jesus Christ. It was so weird because like I remember doubting Jesus, and it was like Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and all of that. And I was slipping into Judaism, but it was like Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and so I was like, that's final. That's final. That's my message from God. But then I still couldn't. I couldn't let go of Judaistic practices. Number one was because my mom was she had a prayer head covering. I believe it's called a talit. I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I don't really have to wear it. So I know that's a horrible excuse, but she had all of it, and she would watch Discovering the Jewish Jesus, and I would watch it with her, just like she'd watch sermons on TV, and I'd watch it with her. And so I guess that really started. Plus, I had my mom's head covering. You know, I had her head covering when she had left. So having that really imprinted into my heart. So, I mean, from that point on, I've been Messianic since like I said, 3-4 years. I haven't eaten pork in such a long time. Like people come up to me and they're like, "Are you a Black Hebrew Israelite?" And I don't know what that is. No, but yeah, when I came back into Christianity, I was Messianic. So yeah, I couldn't like I knew like I don't know. I just got mad that people like you didn't take the law. They didn't take the law seriously. Like even when I was in church, they taught about like the law. Like they never once said that, oh yeah, we don't need the law anymore. Like never taught that growing up in the church. So yeah, it was only natural. It wasn't something that I already believed anyway. That was my Christianity. So yeah, so that's it. That's where I am now.